Have you ever stopped to think that a simple call center script could actually be one of your most powerful business tools? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to break down. We're talking about how to turn basic dialogue into a strategic asset that can seriously boost your efficiency, your customer satisfaction, and yeah, even your bottom line. Hi, I'm Maiko, your AI knowledge operator. It's my job to guide you through all this great information and make it as clear and useful as possible. So let's dive right in. You know, this quote from our source material really says it all. It might sound a little over the top, but it perfectly frames why we're here. See, well-designed scripts aren't just kind of helpful. They are absolutely fundamental to great communication and a smooth customer experience. So here's our roadmap. We'll start with why scripts are so powerful in the first place. Then we'll define the difference between inbound and outbound calls. After that, we'll get into the fun part, crafting the perfect script. And finally, we'll cover how to measure success and navigate the super important world of compliance. Okay, let's kick things off with our first section, the power of a script. It's so easy to just think of a script as, a bunch of lines for an agent to read. But it's so much more than that. It's really a strategic tool that shapes your entire relationship with your customers. So the first huge benefit is consistency. I want you to think of your script as creating a trustworthy character for your business. It makes sure that every single customer interaction, no matter which agent they talk to, feels reliable and professional. And that consistency, that's the bedrock of customer trust. Next up, let's talk efficiency. A really well-structured script is like handing your agents a perfectly organized toolbox. It gives them a clear path for any customer query so they can find the right info and the right solutions fast. The whole process just becomes so much smoother. Scripts are also a total game changer for training. For brand new team members, a script is like a detailed map. It's this practical guide that helps them get up to speed on company standards, product details, and all those customer service protocols. It just makes onboarding way less painful. And finally, there's adaptability. A great script is never, ever set in stone. It's more like a recipe that you keep tweaking and improving. By regularly updating it based on customer feedback and what's happening in the market, your business stays agile and responsive to what your customers actually need. Okay, so now that we get why scripts are so powerful, let's look at how that power is used in different situations. We're going to explore the two main categories you'll be working with: inbound and outbound scripts. They both guide conversations, sure, but their goals and their structures are pretty different. And this really nails the key difference. Inbound scripts are reactive. They're for when a customer calls you looking for support or information. On the other hand, outbound scripts are proactive. That's when your business is the one making the call for things like sales, feedback surveys, or maybe appointment reminders. All right, now for the part where we really get our hands dirty. Crafting your perfect script. We're going to look at the actual blueprints you can use for both inbound and outbound calls to really set yourself up for success. For a winning inbound script, you need these 6 key ingredients. First, a professional greeting to set the right tone. Then, identification to get the customer's info. Next, and this is crucial, you have to truly understand the issue. From there, you provide assistance with empathy, offer a clear resolution, and then finish up with a solid closing. Let's see this in action. So here, a customer is calling about a billing issue. See how the agent starts off with a polite greeting, identifies the customer, and then asks questions to really understand the problem? After showing some empathy, they give a clear solution, connecting the customer right to the billing department. It's simple, it's effective, and it follows our structure to a T. Now, for outbound calls, the flow is a little different. You'll start with a clear introduction, who you are and why you're calling. Then you build rapport to make a connection. After that, you present your information nice and concisely, and you have to be ready to handle objections. Finally, you finish with a strong closing that clearly defines what happens next. And here's how that looks in a real sales call for a new product. The agent introduces themselves, builds a little rapport just by asking how the customer's day is going, and then presents the new product's benefits. Notice how they're ready for potential concerns and have a clear call to action at the end, scheduling a demo. So you've put in the work and you've crafted your scripts. But how do you know if they're actually working? That brings us to our next section, measuring effectiveness. Think of this part as the scorecard for your scripts. One of the big metrics you'll want to track is average handle time, or AHT. This just measures the average length of a customer interaction. A good script helps agents solve problems efficiently, which brings this time down. And that can lead to some serious cost savings and lets your team help more people without sacrificing quality. Another huge one is first call resolution, or FCR. This is simply the percentage of customer issues that get solved on the very first try. A high FCR is a fantastic sign that your scripts are thorough and are really empowering your agents. And trust me, this is vital, because solving things quickly doesn't just make customers happier, it prevents expensive follow-up calls and builds that long-term loyalty. And look, the proof is right here in the numbers. This data shows the average handle time before and after a new, more efficient script was put in place. The time dropped from 420 seconds all the way down to 310. That is a massive improvement in efficiency, and it's exactly the kind of real result you can get with a well-designed script. All right, we've reached our final section, and this is a topic that is absolutely non-negotiable: compliance and best practices. This is your safeguard. It's what makes sure all your interactions are not just effective, but also legal and ethical. So I have to ask you this straight up. Are you positive your calls are legally compliant? It's a critical question, because messing this up can lead to some really serious consequences. Your scripts are your first and your best line of defense here. There are several key regulations you just have to know. In the US, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, or TCPA, is a big one. It restricts telemarketing calls and can come with heavy fines. You also have to screen against the national and your own internal do not call lists. And in many places, you're legally required to tell people if a call is being recorded. And here is a perfect, simple example of a compliance statement you can build right into the beginning of your script. It's clear, it's direct, and it takes care of your legal obligation to let the customer know the call might be recorded. Little statements like this are absolutely essential. So as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Is your script a rigid mandate that your agents have to follow word for word? Or is it a flexible framework that actually empowers them? The best scripts are guides, not cages. They allow for natural conversation while still ensuring consistency and compliance. And that choice makes all the difference.